Let's start with some fun news. GU, for the third time ever, ranked #1 in the country. They beat Duke at the Maui Invitational just a few weeks ago. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it just keeps going and going and going with those guys. And it's just been unbelievable what they're able to accomplish year after year. And they lose such great players. And then they end up getting great players coming back in.
Right. Their recruiting is just unbelievable, and they've just risen to a whole new level. My niece goes to GU now.
Oh, right.
And she's having fun at the kennel.
And you know, the postseason, the Final Four, the Sweet 16, the tournament, just kind of a given for them every year. They seem to make the tournament. Well, gosh, the last 20 years they've gone to the tournament. So.
We've certainly gotten spoiled.
Yes, we really have gotten spoiled because I mean, you could look at North Carolina, UCLA, and you know, great teams that don't make the tournament every year. And Gonzaga does, and I actually think that people in Spokane just think it's a given. And that's not, you know, you're not supposed to make the tournament every year.
There's a lot of effort that goes into it.
Absolutely.
Should we talk Wazoo?
Yeah.
Yeah, what a season for Wazoo.
Who saw this coming?
Yeah, nobody.
Nobody.
I mean, there was a rebuilding year, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly.
And then this quarterback comes in from the East Coast where he didn't even start, right? Didn't he platoon? He was part of they kind of traded off quarterbacks, right?
Right.
And he comes in and he just lights a fire. And all of a sudden it's Cougar mania.
Yeah, the success of Gardner Minshew is certainly notable and surprising. And that mustache, right?
Yeah.
Fun too.
A whole life of its own right there, right?
Who would have thought of him as a Heisman Trophy? And now you're like, yeah, he really should have had a legitimate shot.
He was in the running. A lot of folks said had they won the Apple Cup, he would have probably been in that top 3.
Yeah. We are here! Oh my goodness! Perfect season for College Game Day to finally visit Wazoo.
Yes. That was fun. First time ever, game day to Pullman. We were there, and it was just an incredible scene. I mean, students started showing up, you know, almost 24 hours in advance to line up to get in the game day. I think there was something like, what, 30,000 or 20 or 30,000 fans. Even
the ESPN Game Day broadcasters were saying, wow, we've never seen anything quite like this, and they've been doing it for a long time, so that's pretty cool.
And considering where we were at the start of the season, all the unknowns, I mean, their success this year has been great, despite losing the Apple Cup. Should we move on to talk to something maybe a little more difficult to come out of Wazoo this year? Of course, that's Tyler Olinsky. Tyler Olinsky would have been the starter this season, but he unfortunately, he ended his own life earlier this year, and that was just a huge deal for the campus and the community. Yeah,
and it's always a difficult subject to talk about, right? You know, there's this idea that if you talk about suicide and someone's thinking about suicide, that you could propel them that direction. But in the wake of Tyler Olinsky's suicide, we had experts in who said, no, we do need to talk about it. And you do need to ask someone if you think maybe they're having a hard time. Are you okay? Are you thinking of harming yourself? And it's an important dialogue to have. That's the important thing to come out of all of this, is because even Tyler's mom, who's started the Olinsky's Hope Foundation, she's bringing this kind of to the forefront and trying to start programs on campus to where peers will maybe hopefully recognize some signs of depression or perhaps suicidal thoughts among their peers. Because she said they had no idea with Tyler. It just came out of the blue. And had they known, obviously, they would have tried to do something about it. So.
Seemingly he had everything. Right. But then we find out, they do the autopsy, and they find out that he probably had CTE. So he just may not, you know, he had an illness. That's an interesting topic in and of itself, the CTE. So, yeah, I mean, it's just been obviously a horrible thing to have happen. But if we can bring some light to this issue, that would be what Tyler's family, I think, would like to have happen. Well, there are now programs on campus, and I suspect at the other campuses as well, so people don't feel alone. You guys want to talk Central Valley girls basketball? Unbelievable. Just a juggernaut. I mean, best team in the nation. In the nation. They didn't win state. Washington. It's not just state. No. It's out of 50 states. Right. It's really impressive. And you know, aside from their success on the court, there was this kind of
backstory that unfolded that Evan Klosky at the time reported on extensively.
The coach, Freddie Rico, his son was battling cancer, and the team just wrapped their arms around this adorable kid, and they really dedicated their season to him. And look where they went.
Go Bears.
Yes.